Let's talk about lending for a second here, Joe, because I know you're a big believer in the housing market right now, or buying into housing sector stocks, Lennar in particular. We're going to be talking to John Allison from the Cato Institute. He, of course, really turned BB&T into one of the biggest banks in the country, biggest regional banks in the country. He knows loans. He's seeing an increase in loans by banks, particularly to small and mid-sized companies. As the Fed begins to open up credit, when it begins to borrow less in order to buy fewer bonds, that gives more credit to the private sector. Don't you think perhaps that credit will be put to use, and that's going to help home builders?
I definitely think so. That could be one positive going out the next few months and even a couple of years now. I think when we talk about the home building sector, one ETF, I think it's more of a basket of stocks, is the ITB. The other guest mentioned we had some good news. KBH Homes, KBH stock ticker symbol, had a better than expected earnings report today, kind of lifted that sector into the green despite the broad market sell-off. I think overall, home builders, especially once we started this tapering, expectations have been extremely low because everybody sort of assumed rates are going to skyrocket once tapering begins, and that's actually not what happened at all.
Well,
and
it did today.
Hold
on a second. It did today. We saw rates go up 10 basis points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when I'm talking about from the beginning of tapering, when QE started to taper off the past 4 or 5 months, the assumption was rates are going to skyrocket, home builders are going to tank. And actually, since November, December, home building sector has actually shown some strength. It just shows you that when the masses believe one thing, oftentimes they're wrong. You can kind of see that unwind trade, which is exactly what we've seen in home building.
Robert, I want to get to one of your picks here, and it's Praxair. The reason I wanted to pick this up is because there was some discussion today, of course, with Janet Yellen about what's happening in the Ukraine. Russia, Praxair, largest gas producer in the world. Do you base this pick off of regular fundamentals, or is it something that you're seeing geopolitically right now?
Well, Praxair is very sensitive to the geopolitical situation, and you know they're in Russia, but they're very carefully, as an example. But what we like about Praxair is that they're extraordinarily efficient, and they focus on return on invested capital anywhere in the world, and they have density in geography. So the density helps them with their standardization and then their efficiency. So it's a company that is actually getting better as it goes, and is operated at a very high level. They're very careful about which parts of the world that they enter, recognizing, again, that once they have density, then their efficiency really skyrockets. It's a remarkably well-run company, and we like it a lot for those reasons.
Okay, by the way.